Hello, everybody. I'm here today with Marg Herdman.
Thank you for inviting us.
And you are very welcome. Marg is here to talk about something very near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
St. John's Center for the Arts, formerly St. John's Anglican Church in Arichat. Now, she's here to talk about something really exciting.
Yeah.
You guys are entered in a contest called The Next Great Save.
That's
so,
correct.
Who sponsors this contest?
It's the National Trust of Canada, which is a built heritage organization for the country, and the Ecclesiastical Insurance Company.
Wow.
So the insurance company provides the prizes, and the National Trust does all the organizing, administration, and so on.
Wow, that's very exciting. How did you find out about that?
Well, I've known about it for quite a while, but Jason Langdon had seen it on I guess on Facebook for the National Trust, and he said, I think we should do that. And I said, well, maybe. And he said, there's nothing to lose. It's a win-win.
Right.
So we decided we'd go ahead and do it.
Right, so it involves online voting.
It does. Yeah.
Right. So now the voting isn't open quite yet. It's opening.
No.
By the time this airs, it'll be just about opening.
Yes, it opens on Thursday.
So the Thursday,
the 18th,
the 18th of April.
Yes.
And runs until
May the 6th.
Okay, and you can vote as many times. Once a day.
Once a day.
Right, but everybody can vote once a day.
Every email address can vote once a day.
Awesome. So if you had 3 email addresses, you could vote.
Somebody asked me that question, and I've not seen that you can't.
Well, I think that works, because I think I've done that myself with other contests, to tell you the truth.
So, so that's the way. Now, on the 18th, it's not going. The voting doesn't start here until 1 p.m. because it opens at the same time in BC.
Right.
So, and this is a national contest.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but other churches have actually gotten this funding from Nova Scotia before, correct?
It's not from Nova Scotia.
Oh no, but Nova Scotia churches is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So, well, in 2015, it was Save This Lighthouse, I think, or This Lighthouse Matters.
Right.
And it was Gabaroos that won.
Cool.
And in 2016, it was This Place Matters, and it was First United Church in Truro that won.
Wonderful.
So last year, I can't remember all the ones in between, but last year, a house called La Vieille Maison in Metagan got second prize. And the prizes, the monetary prizes, are rather good.
Oh.
Yeah, so first prize is $50,000.
Wow, wouldn't that come in handy?
Very handy. The second prize is $10,000, which would also come in handy.
Everything comes.
Even the 5 at third would come in handy,
Everything.
but we need votes.
Yes. What is your main purpose? I mean, other than getting certainly it gets you recognition.
Yes.
Because a lot of people are noticing.
Yes.
And I mean, St. John's is a beautiful building, let's face it. So the more people that are aware of it, the better.
Yeah, and our hope is that people will support us even more than they have been.
Right.
We've had very good support from the community, so that is very positive.
Yeah.
But more wouldn't be bad.
Everything
it would
helps.
be good.
Every bit helps.
Yes.
The more hands, the better, really.
Very true.
So now, how did you decide to enter this contest?
Well, really, Jason and I talked about it, and he said it's a win-win as far as he was concerned. So we took it to the board, and the board agreed.
Yeah.
You guys can go ahead and do it.
Well, no, I mean, it makes sense. It is a win-win.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's what we did.
So how many entries are there?
There are 12 across the country.
Right.
Only 12.
Right.
Only 1 in Nova Scotia. So we're really hopeful that Nova Scotia will be very supportive. Not just, we think of ourselves as Cape Bretoners, right?
Right,
So
well, okay.
we are.
We are.
But we don't want just Cape Breton to support us. We want the whole
Right.
province to. Because I remember voting every day for La Vieille Maison last
Right,
year and
right.
encouraging
Right.
other Acadians to do.
Yeah.
No, I'm not an Acadian, but other
Yeah.
people to do
Yeah.
that too. So.
Well, I mean, I think it's I think it's fantastic
Yeah.
initiative, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's been good.
So now you're going to, if you do win $50,000, what's your first plan?
Well, even if we just win 5, really what we have to do is look at the building,
Itself.
the exterior of the building is
Right.
what we need to make.
Right. So what are you thinking about there?
Well, we have to get windows fixed.
Definitely.
Exterior windows. We're not changing the
Yeah.
beautiful stained glass,
can't. No, no.
but the exterior. But we have somebody to build them,
Right.
and they're built from scratch, and that's appropriate. The doors, I know a lot of people have been noticing the doors, which were covered with a tarp to protect the
course, of
interior
course,
from the
yes.
rain. But we do have new doors up
Yes,
now, so
That's
a
great.
local fellow made those, a
great.
local craftsman. And we are getting the roof done because we got a grant from the province.
Which was fantastic.
Yeah, so
Fantastic.
we, that in combination with St. Joseph's Credit Union and Heritage Trust and a little bit of our fundraising, we'll have the roof completed. And then we have to start looking at the shell part of the building because we have siding coming off on a regular basis. It's over 40 years old. It's well beyond its
So
life.
are you thinking about different type of siding?
Well, we haven't decided.
Right.
We're going to make a decision.
So, I
when-
mean, you would never take it back to the shingles, or would you?
well, we might.
You
It
might.
depends.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
totally depends.
Yeah,
So
that would be, yeah. Well, that would kind of,
that would take care of the money. Actually, just siding will take care of the
of
money.
course,
But
it costs a lot of money. What about, like, the basement of that building?
well, the basement's been gutted, and
Yeah, I
it's not. There's been no upgrades to the
Right,
basement.
right. Now, you've talked about the previous winners. I am really hoping that you guys actually win something.
Well, we need people to vote.
Well, that's what I'm going to get at. Now, I am going to put up every bit of information I possibly can.
Yeah, that's great.
To make
Thank you,
sure.
Becky.
I will personally vote every day with all 3 of my email addresses because that's what I'm
Yes.
going to do. And I encourage everybody who has more than one email address to take that time when you're having your morning coffee or after supper, whenever you do.
Well, okay, I can make a suggestion. Because we're on the East Coast, now there is one Newfoundland entry, so there will be lots of votes coming from that. But as you progress across the country, there's more likelihood that there will be congestion on the website.
Right.
So earlier is better.
The better. Oh, well, I'm going to do mine at breakfast time.
There you go.
That's going to be part of my morning routine. So now, I mean, there's quite a bit of history
There
also
is,
in
yeah.
that building, right? Mm-hmm. So, can you give me a little bit of that?
Just a little bit.
Just
yeah,
a little bit.
just
Because there's a
little
lot.
bit. So it started 1824 that they had meetings to organize church for Arichat and area. And 1828 it was actually opened. At that point in time, they had requested a minister fluent in French and English because of the Channel Island connections. And those connections stayed all through the 1800s into the early 1900s. Not very many of them left today, but so in 1873 there was the Great August Gale, Great August Gale I think it was called, and it caused damage. And they had meetings to try to decide: should we fix? Should we repair? Should we build anew? What should we do? And the decision was to do a bit of repair. So that's what they did. By the late 1880s into the early 1890s, the decision was made to build a new building. Right. So they hired an architect who is kind of famous throughout the Maritimes, William Critchlow Harris, and he designed the building. And it was constructed. It was not constructed. It was manufactured in Oxford by the Cumberland Manufacturing Company, and it was shipped by rail to Mulgrave and then by boat to Arichat. Wow. And then constructed by this company. So that was, yeah. And it had a beautiful spire on it. Mm. Oh yes,
I've seen pictures of that spire. Is that the one we do see in some pictures?
Yes, yeah.
It was beautiful.
It was.
It looks totally different than it does now.
Yeah, and Harris was interested. He didn't have white churches.
I know.
None of his churches.
Weren't they kind of pink?
Well, some were. They were all pale colors.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes cream, yellow,
Yeah.
blue, green.
I think that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's something we've talked about too at some point, being able to get back to that, which we'd only be able to do probably if we
Right.
went the siding route. So not the siding, the shingle route. But
Right.
but anyway, that's
But it's a good
thought.
idea. I
Yeah.
mean, it would be a good opportunity if you got a good amount
yeah,
of funding
we would.
to insulate it.
Vote, vote, right?
Oh yes, definitely. Everybody vote, 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 vote. Absolutely. Actually, I've noticed that the Facebook page, it's the poster that you've posted has been shared like
I
a
know.
lot.
It has.
So
it
that's
has. It's
fantastic.
great. Yeah.
That's great news.
The thing that I always think about is, are all these people that are sharing, are all these people really going to vote?
Well, you never know.
So we hope. We're
Well,
very hopeful.
I think if they're interested enough to share them,
to share, I think you're right.
You know, I've noted that before. I actually online vote on some music events in Toronto and things. You know, I have friends there, so that's what I do.
Yeah.
I think that you know, most of the time it probably works out better.
Well, we're very hopeful.
Oh, listen, I think that, you know, the community has always seen that building. A lot of the community had never even been inside that building until the last, you know, bunch of years when you were having events or whatever you were doing. So to them, it's like, wow, we had no idea how beautiful this building was.
That's very true.
And it is beautiful and acoustically perfect.
Yeah, it's very,
in my
very good.
mind.
Yeah, very good acoustics.
So yes, everybody needs to vote, and vote again. But I would say pick a time, make sure that your friends are voting. I mean, this is something that belongs in this community, and that's the importance of support.
And someone said, can you imagine the community without it, like if it were down?
No.
And it's that important in the community, isn't it?
Well, we see that even with old houses that are, you know, they go and all of a sudden it's like, I think that, I think it can only get better.
Yes.
I mean, and just having the support from the community, like you
It's
say,
very important.
It's very important. A lot of people are noticing,
Yes.
you know, and I think that's fantastic. Many hands.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're giving support by email, I mean, it's not costing you a lot to gain a lot.
It's kind of free.
Right, but just think of the wonderful investment you're making.
Yes.
I mean, not every investment is monetary. I mean, you make investment by support. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you all kinds of luck.
Well, thank you.
I'll be voting, and I hope all of you are voting out there.
I hope so too.
And any more information you need, I'll make sure that all the details are here and available
That's
to anybody.
great.
You can call here if you get mixed up and you can't log in. I'll try to walk you through it.
Yeah. That's great. Thank you very much.
I mean, really, sometimes that's a challenge. So
I know.
the more votes, the better. Let's see if we can top like.
Well, last year the winners got over 70,000 votes.
Okay, so we need 80,000 votes. So let's see if we can
Sounds
set
good.
that. 80,000 votes, folks. That's what we're looking for. So if we can do 80,000.
Your friend, your neighbor, your
Everybody,
child, everybody.
Everybody,
Yeah.
your hairdresser, your dog walker, whoever it is. All right,
That's
well,
true.
thank you for coming.
Well,
Marg.
thank you very much
and I
for
hope,
allowing us
I
to
really
be
hope
here.
that the next conversation we have will be celebrating.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I think it would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll actually go up with a camera and stand in front of the building and jump up and down with a big hooray.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
thank you.
I won't ask you to jump, but
Good.
you can if you
Thank
want.
you.
Okay.